Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button right below. We have the New Orleans Saints at the Miami Dolphins, Sunday at 1. Dolphins favored by 5.5 here. 2-9 Saints in the 4-7 Dolphins.
Yeah.
Coming off their bye.
And, their improved performances.
Yeah. We'll be quick on some of these games here. Like this one. What are we looking for in this game?
Miami, Devon Achane is worth watching in any given week. That dude is pretty special as a running back.
Stole my notes.
Oh, yeah? That was your note? Devon Achane equals good?
We usually give, what are we looking for? Something to watch in this game. Devon Achane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the thing to watch for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
Dolphins generally,
they're on a run of 3 wins. 3 wins and 4.
The Mike McDaniel dynamic, you've said for the most part they've played hard. I think they've shored up this run defense that was awful and looked soft early in the year, playing with better energy on the defensive side of the ball. Jordan Brooks has played excellent, I think, at linebacker and been a big part of that. I mean, that's the thing, right? We've soured on Miami and said they've got some serious holes on both lines of scrimmage. I don't really trust their defensive tackles yet. Their offensive line has issues. The whole secondary is a mess.
Yeah.
So they had massive holes coming into the season, but then they were way worse than they should have been on paper. So both things were true.
Yeah.
They're at least back to where they should have been, I would say, from being more competitive, even if they're not a great team.
It's not like they've been, you can point to things that do look to be coaching failures, right? Even against Washington, you're like, why are you trying to run power football at the 1 yard line? That's not really what you do, and you don't become a power football team just by putting in Ollie Gordon instead of Devon Achane at the goal line. So you can look at that and say, well, that's a Mike McDaniel failure, quote unquote, on that play. So it's not like he's been perfect, but if you were looking at Miami overall and you were saying what was the problem here, you would, I think, fairly clearly say this has been a personnel problem more than it's been a coaching problem. And quite clearly, at no point has Mike McDaniel, lost the locker room, as they say. And there was a great clip coming out of that game against Washington where, him and Deebo Samuel, they're hugging, they're joking. Deebo clearly loves that guy from their time in San Francisco together. And it's look, McDaniel's sort of weird shtick, he's a quirky character. And that doesn't play as well when you're losing football games as when you're winning football games. But in particular, I don't think it plays as well to the media, right? So I think a lot of this whole is McDaniel the problem thing, I think it's journalists looking at his shtick and being like, this guy's kind of a jerk. I'm kind of sick of this. The players still love him, and that's the bigger point. And if you're the owner, I don't know how clued into his own locker room he is, but given... I mean, you talk about disconnected billionaires. This was a guy there was a video of him seeming upset that he had to walk 50 feet from his private jet to his private car. And, so I don't know how much he's got his finger on the pulse of his own locker room is what I'm saying.
50 feet? That's a lot.
Something like that. Look, who knows? It's the thing you hate, right? It's the caption was, Stephen Ross is mad. He's got to walk 50 feet from his jet to his car.
Don't read the caption.
Who knows what he was mad at? Who knows if he was even mad? Maybe he's just got resting bitch face as a billionaire. Who knows? It's all an unknown.
He could be perfectly content walking.
Correct, exactly. But if the caption was to be believed, he was upset that he had to walk an unnecessary distance from his private jet to his private car and be ferried somewhere. Anyway, if Stephen Ross is, surveying the locker room as to what do you think about our head coach? Should we be making a move? I would say those guys are still fighting for Mike McDaniel. They're still very much in his corner, and that's an important variable here.
The one other dynamic that's interesting to me, you have has the Dolphins' offensive line been good at any point with McDaniel from a personnel perspective? And that's a scheme. Remember, there was a point with that scheme where the Texans had a bad O-line, but they were making it work with our friend Bobby. The Dolphins had a bad offensive line, but they were making it work at least against bad teams with McDaniel. The Niners didn't necessarily have it on paper, but they were making it work with Kyle outside of Trent Williams at left tackle. I wonder if they made one offseason investment the way the Bears did and just go all in. The Bears went Joe Thuney at guard, Jonah Jackson at guard, get the center, just get it, Drew Dahlman, and just load up on the offensive line. Because right now they're bottom 5 in both pass blocking and run blocking per PFF.
Yeah.
And that's been like, we've been able to overcome that before, but imagine Tua and McDaniel with a stout offensive line. I mean, so when I take over as Dolphins GM, you can throw the resume in this offseason here. When I take over, I'm going to pitch that. Like, we're going to go full O-line here first, give Mike what he needs, because I think he could be good. And my storyline for the Dolphins the rest of the season, do they remain competitive in all these games? They don't have to win out or anything like that, but do they remain competitive? And if we're going to at least say, hey, the Bengals are still alive with 8 losses at 3-8 with Joe Burrow coming back, theoretically the Dolphins could win out and be very much in the mix at 10-7. So we'll keep an eye on it. If they're going to do that, they got to win this game against the Saints.
And they found, I think, a pretty good left tackle in Patrick Paul. Who,
yeah.
Like, that was a
and then you add 4 pieces to it.
That was a big question mark heading into the season. Yeah. It's like, man, you're relying on this young guy that was a second round developmental draft pick. Like, what if he sucks? And actually, he's been the one thing on that offensive line that's been like a pleasant surprise. It's just everything around him sucks.
And if you're a Saints fan, just more Tyler Shuck development, and the Jets game is next up in our preview. And I've encouraged I will encourage Jets fans to watch Indiana-Purdue this weekend if you want to watch a little Fernando Mendoza. Watch the Iron Bowl this weekend if you want to watch a little Ty Simpson. Oregon, they play in this? Yeah, Oregon-Washington, I believe. So watch some of these rivalry games with the quarterbacks who could be coming out, because I think New Orleans will have a decision to make near the top of the draft as far as quarterback goes versus what Shuck does here down the stretch.
And because all the quarterbacks that people thought were going to be coming out have been bad.
Yeah. I mean, Arch starting to look good, but I don't think he's coming out. What?
No, I don't think he was ever coming out. He's certainly not coming out after the way he started this season.
No, but he's trending in the right direction. Lenore Sellers hasn't really developed as a passer, so those are the games to watch if you're a Saints fan. Friday, Saturday.
That much faith in Tyler Shuck, huh?
Anything else on the Saints?
No. I mean, we'll see. Watching Tyler Shuck's always entertaining.
Sure is. Miami by 5.5 here on Sunday.
I'm pretty sure I got the Saints covering this.
The Saints. I'll take Miami. Believer in the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Harry's going to take the Saints here.
Now that I think about it, I think Miami. I don't know why I'm taking the Saints, but all right. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a video.
You heard the man. Subscribe.